Hello there, my mate Vince here. Check it out, Xbox Series S faulty. As soon as you turn it on, it turns off again. Check this out. Off, and it's got a nice little, not a hard drive click, a little kind of little popping sound. Listen. Do you hear that? Sounds to be coming over here somewhere. I like that. I've tried holding down the sync button and this button for a while. It makes no difference. Of course, I bought it off eBay. So, but it was described as that. Obviously bought it faulty, which is the intention. So let's take it apart and see if we can find out what's going on. Now, I said at the beginning of the video, I've never done one of these before. So it's going to be similar to maybe you doing it if you've never done one before. So, should be interesting. Let's see if we can get it working. All right, let's get this thing apart. Now, it's been proven through the actual engagement in the YouTube videos that the yellow mat's in, that they get more views, so start giving this some love, otherwise you're going to see it all the time. All the hate, YouTube's pushing the videos more because they think people are enjoying it because of the comments. Right, so this has been opened up before. You can see that the two little stickers are gone. So they're Torx 9 screws. And the green ones look like Torx 10. So it's here 23rd of December 20, so 2020. So 2 years old. Nearly a Christmas console. The thing comes apart so easy. Oh, here we go, 22nd of January 21. Okay, so it's getting newer. Nice bit of dust there. Look at that. Ta-da! We're in. I'm just going to get my data vac. I'm just going to blow this dust out of here. Well, a serious amount of dust came out of that. So the heatsink must have been quite blocked because dust was flying everywhere. Right, I am thinking, first things first, I'm thinking power supply. So let's swap this out. Is there screws to undo it? It's probably all the silver ones holding it in. Oh, of course, it just plugs straight into the board there. Right, okay, and you've got all the thermal, little thermal pad here for that chip. No, sorry, for this front one. Oh, for the storage expansion. Right, okay. 21st of November 20. So let's swap out the power supply, see if it starts working. Right, this one is from my Xbox Series S. Let me just make sure it is the same one. Model 1921. So you can just see here, model number there. And here. Right, let's pop it in. What do you think? Do you think it's going to work? I think it will. So let's plug it in now. Now let's turn it on. Here goes. No, off again straight away. Oh, not the power supply. Do you know what? Thinking about it, a modern device that's been opened before, somebody would have swapped the power supply over. Do you like that? So it's cutting the power supply off. Let's get the board out completely. And while I'm getting the board out, let's have a quick word about the sponsor of this video. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. So you know you get these little tools that check for AC current. Well, this little circuit here will do something very similar. Let me show you it working. We have 3 NPN transistors all connected through each other to make it super sensitive. We've got 3 resistors and an LED. And we're using this masterpiece here as an antenna. Took me ages, that did. Now check it out. The red light is on because the power cable is currently live because I've got my studio lights connected to it. When I turn it off here, you will see that the red light LED will go out. Then when we turn it on again, the red light will come back on. Nice, isn't it? So once you're happy with your circuit board design and you want to make it look more professional, then you can design a circuit board and that will generate a Gerber file. You send that off to PCBWay and then you can get your prototype made nice and professional. Remember, PCBWay don't just do unpopulated circuit boards, you can also get them assembled. They do flexible circuit boards, CNC machining, 3D printing and SMD stencils. So they really are your one-stop shop for all things PCB related. Massive thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. Right, back to getting this board out. Strange, it looks like we've got some sort of mould there, but it's not mould, it looks like it's oils from the thermal pads down here. Another thermal pad for this chip here. Take this out so we don't damage it. I presume this is the storage. This is 500 gig, this console, isn't it? Now, just in case, yeah, Western Digital, NVMe. 512 gigabytes SSD. It's tiny, isn't it? Compared to a hard drive. A mechanical one. Right, I'm just going to plug this back in, just in case it was the SSD that was causing that problem. Right, plugging it in now. And going to turn it on. No. Right, exactly the same thing as before. So I wonder, do we have a short on the board somewhere? Now, how easy is it to take off this? Do I need to take it off? Well, there's lots of inductors and stuff around there. Look at that. You ready? Watch this. Very dusty. Oh, there's more. Check it out. There's loads. What? Keeps on coming. Well, I think because of the amount of dust and everything, and the fact that this is covering up a lot of the board, let's try to take this clamp off. Okay, that came off easy enough. So now, is this going to come off nice? Yes, you are. Excellent. Thermal paste has gone quite hard. And another clump here as well. Now remember, I blew it with the data vac, so this is very dusty. Right, okay, I am going to just give it a quick brush down. Right, let's get a multimeter out and see if we have any shorts. Right, so we'll use that as a ground. Yeah. It's weird with my leads. Sometimes this can be like a 1 ohm short. Sometimes it can be a 2 ohm. Right now it's up to a 4 ohm short. And as far as I know, my leads are good. Anyway, is this ground here as well? Must be. Okay, 3. We're down to 3 ohm now. Right, let's rest it on here. Let's go across these massive coils. Now, 3 ohms, 3.7 here. I would have said that they were short. Let's try this side. Do you know what? Maybe not if they're feeding. These people, where's the power come in? There's 4 here, there's 5 here. Would it be this side? Oh, look at that one, that's 56 ohms, but all the others are quite low. Hold on a minute, that one looks a bit crusty down the bottom. Look at this one. Look here. You would say it's water damage, but there's no signs anywhere else. I wonder, is that just a bit dodgy from manufacture? Even if the coil was completely shorted, it wouldn't stop it from working, would it? Because, I mean, the coil's shorted anyway, albeit via probably 100 more meters off a tiny wire. Or maybe much more than that. Anything that side? No. Don't think that's it. Look at this, warm, cold, power. 3 different switches, what's that about? Right, so apart from the tiny bit of rust that we've seen on the bottom of that coil, everything looks fine. And the coil, in my opinion, I think that's just a defect from manufacture. Because I can't see any damage on the board or anything. Now, if you look really closely around the place, you can see that there is actually a load of test points. So test point 7, test point 8, and they're all kind of these nice big pads. Test point 3. So let's go across some of them. 12 volt, there we go. So I should have 12 volts there. Let's see if the 12 volt rail is shorted. So we'll just go to ohms for this. And let's go one leg to ground. So on my meter right now, see, it's weird, isn't it? Right now my meter is kind of working good. It's weird how it varies so much, how sometimes it can go up to 7 ohms. Right, okay, 12 volts. Right, that's not shorted. Definitely not shorted. What we got here? Ground, so the ground is going to be short, so you can see now. So if I had a reading there, that would mean it's a short. See, 4 ohms is probably not going to be a short because these chips run on these chips run on like 1 volt within a huge amount of current. So like 4 ohms is probably completely normal. So I'm just going to cross them all. This is ground again. You should have to prod quite hard to get into them though. Ooh. That's nearly a full-on short, because if you have a look here, 0.3 off an ohm, and that's 0.9 off an ohm. That looks okay. Okay. Right, well, it all looks okay apart from this one here, V_GFX core. That doesn't sound promising, does it? That sounds like it might be something to do with graphics. Right, let's zoom in and see what's going on here. I think I'm going to have to take apart my working one to get a reading off that one there, because I don't really know. I mean, it's not a direct short, is it? So where do you go to? It looks like, so it could be, it could be this thing here shorting. And it also goes into, is it this massive rail here? So has this got a short? 1 ohm short. Yeah, it's grown now to 1 ohm. Okay, if we were to put in 1... See, hold on 1 second now. Are they all linked or not? Yeah, see, that's also got a 1 ohm short. I'm going to take apart my working one before I do any voltage injection. And if this is like a 7 ohm short, we know then the problem is something to do with this. If it's also a 1 ohm short, there's no point in me fault finding this, because it's going to be something else on the board. Really weird. I was expecting to see like a nice short. The power supply cuts off instantly. Do you know what? First impressions, I'm thinking that this is going to be shorted, which would be a real shame. Okay, I'm going to take apart my working one. Excuse this, it's because I made a portable one. Get the board out of this, and this one is definitely working. Right, good news is I can get to this without taking it apart any further. So I can just see it just in here. So let's see what this one is reading. Right, so we're going to the same one there. Please be 1 ohm. Come on. Ooh, it is low. Ooh, Right. It is low. And what is it when I go to ground? 1, so it is tiny as well, isn't it? So I don't think that's faulty. I don't know how to fault find this now because I can't find a short anywhere. See what I'm going to do. Let's take the prongs out of here. Oh, I didn't need to do that actually, because I can just go on here. I just want to see what it's reading on the inductor. Right, so we're in the meg ohms, yeah? 0.6. Let's see what it is on this board. Yeah, so that's fine, isn't it? We're still in the meg ohms. So that's not the issue. Just in case there's something silly like the little front board, let's swap the front boards over. You know, the little button board, it is possible, isn't it? It's unlikely, but it is possible. I mean, surely having the SSD out of it, it would still try to turn on, wouldn't it? Maybe I should take the SSD out of this one and put it in, just to see. I'm just going to try it like that. Again, for all I know, one of these boards could be putting a fault on it. So let's just do it like this and see what happens. Plugging it in now. We're in. Now let's see what happens. No. Look, you can see the light against my finger. Sounds like it's definitely clicking in here. Right, okay, because I don't know anything about these, let me take out my SSD and let's see if this fails to turn on. If it fails to turn on, we know then it could be something to do with the SSD. What's interesting is my one hasn't got these weird marks on the this chip here and this chip here. You know, my one just seems dry. Right, okay, so that's that. So now let's plug in this front board. So let's see, this is the known working one. Let's see if it will work with this power supply, the button from the faulty one, and without the SSD plugged in. Here goes. Yes, it will. Right, that's good news. So it's not an SSD problem, because it will work anyway. Problem is, because this takes up so much room, it's hard to test for voltages, isn't it? It's not an SSD problem. I mean, there was a lot of dust on it. Could it be to do with overheating? Should I put pressure down on the south bridge and the APU and see then if it wants to start up. Same fault. Now, is there any way I can put pressure down on that chip without, because I don't want to get my fingers, I can't get my fingers under there. Let's try it and use a bit of plastic, that way I'm not going to short anything. So I'm on that now. No. Right, okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to fix this. I mean, everything looks perfect. Let's get both boards. Let's get this taken off as well, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to check all the components. Right, okay, so bear with me for a bit. I'm just going to go across different ones and see if I can find any differences between them both. It's a real strange one, isn't it? Because the power supply is cutting out straight away, which to me indicates there's a short fault on the board. But as far as I can see, there is no short fault. So, yeah, really odd. But do you know what? It's going to get a little bit stranger before the end of the video. Anyway, till that point, let's give a shout out to them, My Mate Vince Massive. And this month, the members are kitdigital.com, Kip Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Having Fun Repairs, Will Michaelis, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeebs.com, DJVG, Pixie, Robert from Timsy's Auto Air, Daniel Watson, Zeeks C, Anthony Dean, Bazza2 and Operational 117. A massive thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Now this is interesting. Now I know it's growing and we did have it turned on, you know, even though it was only for a few seconds, but have a look here. On the 12 volt rail over here is 34,000 ohms. Yet on the faulty board, it's like 440,000 ohms. I wonder, does that mean anything? Let's go on to the inductor down here. So the resistance on the 12 volt rail is very different. Problem is it is growing. And that's shrinking. So maybe they would meet. That's 330,000 ohms. And on the 12 volt rail on this one, it's only 27,000 ohms. And I'm presuming there's not going to be a load of components underneath here, but maybe there is. Maybe there's a load more things under here. How easy does this come off? Oh yeah, of course, yeah, that's all the RAM chips, isn't it? I'll have to flatten all that out again later. Well, there's nothing obvious there, from what I can see. Let's try putting 1 volt into the 12 volt line and see what happens. Right, so I've got 1 volt, 5 amps. Let's see, let's go on to the massive inductor here. So we'll do a ground here, inductor here. Let's see what it's going to do. Right, it's 1 volt and 0 amps. So there's no short there. Oh god, I don't want to give up already. I actually do not know what to do. It's like it's open circuit, but yet when I plug it in, the fault occurs. So it's only when it's got 12 volt that the fault occurs, not any other time. Look, right, okay. If I put 1 volt in and it's not drawing anything on that 12 volt rail, why can't I up the voltage? I should be able to. I mean, it's used to seeing 12 volts in there. Maybe then something will come alive. It's just that when you do voltage injection, you shouldn't do more than 1 volt, because when it's shorted somewhere, I could end up putting high voltage into there. But it's not showing a short at the moment, is it? I mean, when I go in, the problem is it's not showing a short now, but I think it's only showing the short when you start getting voltage into it. And I suppose 1 volt's not enough to turn something on which is then faulty. So this is my thinking in the next part of the video. Get the FLIR cam out and let's keep upping the voltage. So we've done 1 volt, nothing happens. Let's keep upping the voltage until we see the amps change on the actual bench power supply. That will tell us then that the board is drawing something. So at 1 volt, it's drawing nothing. So let's go up the voltage ranges all the way to 12 if needs be. And let's see if we get anything on our bench power supply and also see if anything heats up on the FLIR cam. Right, so I've got my positive lead in here, got my FLIR cam ready to go, and let me just double check now. I'm at 1 volt. Let me make sure the 1 volt is going into the board. So go to here and here, and you can see there 0.95. I'll tell you what, let's go straight to 2 volts. There, right now. Right, so we've got 2 volts going into the board, so this is definitely connected correctly. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to keep going up on the voltage until I get some sort of amp draw and see whether anything's shining here. Now, you shouldn't go above 1 volt, but the thing is, in my opinion, there's no short on this board. The short is only present when voltage is getting applied. So here goes, 2 volts. Is anything getting warm? Okay, well, it's not drawing anything. It's not even... It's the same as not being connected. My power supply just says 2 volts, 0 amps. So it's not drawing anything at all and nothing's getting warm on the board. So let's go to 3 volts. And again, we're not drawing any amps whatsoever. How weird's that? I suppose because this rail's expecting to see 12 volts. Let's go to 5 volts. Now obviously don't copy what you see in this video. I've sort of resigned to the fact that this board, I'm not going to be able to fix this board, but it would be a great one for spares and repair to fix another board. So I'm happy to go all the way to 12 volts. Right now it's drawing 20 milliamps, but 20 milliamps at 5 volts is not going to get anything warm. And you can see there, apologies for my shaky hand, but there's nothing getting warm. What you see there is just reflections. You know, that's not warm, this is just reflections. You can see how warm my hand is. Right, let's go all the way to 8 volts. Is that going to turn anything on? No, we're still... Oh, it jumped up to 80 milliamps for a second and back down to 9 milliamps. So again, that's not going to get anything warm. Right, let's go up to 10 volts. Will it turn on at 10 volts? Right, it went up to 100 milliamps for a second, but no. It's back down now to 9 milliamps. Again, nothing's getting warm. Right, 11 volts. I'm thinking 11 volts, it will turn on like that. Right, it goes. Yes, 1.2 amps. Right now. The APU's getting warm, isn't it? Here. Watch. Is anything else getting warm? Right, ready? You can't see, but I'm tapping on and off here, so I'm off at the moment. Right, on. APU's getting warm, isn't it? It's drawing 1.28 amps. Look at my shakes. Right, okay. But you know what? Is that... doesn't feel hot. I wonder, is that completely normal? So what's going on here? We might as well go all the way to 12 volts now. Why is the power supply getting kicked out when there's no short? I mean, 1.2 amps, 12 volts, does that sound about right? 12 volts at 1 amp would be 12 watts, wouldn't it? That sounds about right. I don't know how efficient these are, but I bet you they're about 50 or 60 or so. I don't know what they are. Right, here goes. Yeah, 1.2. Anything else getting warm? Right, as far as I can see, it's just the APU that's getting warm. I think I'm going to have to leave this for a revisit video. Let's turn it over the other side. Let's see now what's going to happen. Yeah, it's just the APU again, right in the middle. Right in the middle up here. What on earth's going on? I wonder, one second, let me just turn the flare cam off. I wonder if I was to connect the button at the front and put 12 volts from my power supply in there, whether or not we might get some sound out of it. So we'll put that in there, go to here, let's go to turn it on. Yes. Haha, look at that. Still on. Right, okay. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's connect it up to the telly. Let's put the heatsink just roughly back on. Let's connect it up to the telly and let's see whether or not we have, this is getting interesting, isn't it? Whether or not we're going to have some kind of life on it. So I'm just going to put it back together some sort of fashion. Right, check this out. I was just getting it together to try it on the TV, you know, with the bench power supply, and I thought I'll just test to see whether or not what happens when I, you know, if it's the same fault now. So look at this. I haven't connected to the TV, but watch. Staying on. What's that about? So, by putting voltage, by forcing voltage into it, have we cleared the short in the APU? It's not going to work, but has that proved that the APU was faulty? I wonder. Do you know what? This is going to be an interesting one for the comment section. But it's interesting that it seems to stay on now. Oh look, we got a spin. Is it going to spin again? Oh my god! Imagine if it actually worked. What on earth would that be about? I've got the SSD in the bottom as well. The you know, the faulty one, the one from the faulty board. That looks very, very promising. I wonder, can we turn it off by holding this down? Yes, we can. Wow, this is actually looking amazingly good. I don't want to get my hopes up because it can't work, can it? Right, let's bring it over to the telly and see what it's doing. I'm just going to plug it in. Forget about using the bench power supply. Just going to put these things in as well. Right, okay. Plug the HDMI cable in. We're on the plastic bottom, so nothing should short anywhere. Turn the telly on. I don't know why, but I've got my hopes up, which is silly. So it can't work. It's just that it looked like the fan was spinning correctly and stuff. So I'm going to plug it in right now. And here we go. Let's turn it on. See what it does. Is anything going to happen to the telly? Oh, come on. 720p. What the hell? That's unbelievable. What? What's that about? And the guy's account's on here. I suppose I'm gonna have to blur that. Unbelievable. Right, let's see if I can connect up. Where's the sync button on this? It's down here, isn't it? Let me see if I can connect up a controller. And sync button. Yes, it's flashing here. Come on. Wow. It's done it. It's done it. Right, shall I just do skip sign-in? Watch Dogs, Roblox, Fortnite, Goat Simulator, Star Wars. It seems to be working. Your controller needs an update, let's forget about that. Do I have to do it? Okay. Well, there you go. Miracles do happen on the My Mate Vince channel. Unbelievable. I just don't know what's happened here. I put a known good working power supply in. There's nothing wrong with my Xbox Series S. It works perfectly. It's brand new. So we tried the faulty power supply and the working power supply. They both had the same fault, cutting off straight away, which would suggest a fault with the board. But my multimeter did not show any fault with the board. Yet when we forced voltage into it, because my bench power supply doesn't care, it's not going to cut out, it's going to force voltage in. When we forced the voltage in, all of a sudden, it seems to have come to life. But I haven't done full-on testing yet. this is just connected 720p at the moment on a 1080p TV. So I'm going to connect it up to my bigger TV in 4K. I need to give it a clean. I need to change out the thermal paste. I'm going to put it fully back together, all with the original faulty parts, you know, to keep it as a whole, because I can tell by the date on the power supply and stuff like that from which console it's from. And I'm also going to put my console back together because it's been working as a portable Xbox Series S. I'm going to put it back together as a Series S from the factory, because I just did that as a proof of concept for video. So yeah, next time you see this, it will be connected to the big TV. Hopefully I will have downloaded the game and done some testing. Right, so this is my one back together now, and ooh, vertical. There's been a lot of fuss recently made about the PlayStation 5 and the vertical orientation. Anyway, look, if you check this out, this is working as 4K. So now let's connect up the faulty one from eBay and let's see if we can get that working on my account with 4K. Right, so this is the repaired console now, working on 4K. I'll show you that in a minute, but I'm just going to download Fall Guys just to make sure that it will actually download something onto the internal SSD and that we can play a game from it. Right, Fall Guys is working, and I'm using the Xbox controller that I fixed in a previous video. So no more Switch Killer, I am now the Xbox Fixer Grand Poobah. Quite like that title. Here it is here. Everything seems to be working fine. So let me get out of that, even though I did get through that level. Let's go to a home. Let me just show you. Sorry, doing this one-handed. Let me just show you that it is working in 4K. So as far as I can see, everything on this is working just fine. Look. 4K. It's not spinning up anything weird. It looks absolutely perfect. So I need you guys to tell me why that fixed it. When we force supply, that doesn't just turn off if it sees a fault. It cleared the fault. Why? So by kind of turning on the APU, forcing it to turn on, it somehow burnt away whatever fault the power supply was detecting. Do you know what? It doesn't make any sense to me. So if you could put it down into the comments below, I would be really, really grateful. Also put down in the comments below what you're thinking about this PlayStation 5 vertical business. I'm thinking impact damage. I know I haven't got a problem with my one, but saying that, it hasn't had a lot of use. I'm thinking that it's probably consoles that have dropped, and then that's probably why the liquid metal has shifted. But yeah, hopefully this will keep on working. If it doesn't, then it can be a revisit video down the line sometime. So until the next time, I will see you all very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching.